Good morning, students. So today let's see chapter 2 or the session 2 of this 402 IT. I had already explained you about the accessibility options, which was in session 1. So I'm showing you the book. I will give you also the practical session of chapter 1, but that is session 1. Today we will see networking fundamentals. So, students, do you know what is networking? When two or more computers are get interconnected, means they are connected with the help of wire or with the help of wireless media like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, hotspot. Okay, so then the combination of two or more computer are known as network, and when the two computers work in network, that is called networking. And today we are going to learn about the networking fundamentals. What are the main things that are involved in networking, means connecting two computers together and working together on the computer. So the very first one is, you can see what is computer network. It is explained here. I can this is the definition. I can explain you like here. A computer network may be defined as a group or two or more system or peripheral devices that are connected together to exchange information, share resources among a wide range of users. What does it mean? I am explaining you. See, this when two computers are get connected with each other, then what are the peripherals? Peripherals like printer, keyboard, mouse. These are known as the peripherals, means the additional devices that is get connected with the CPU or the computer are known as peripherals. So two or more computers are interconnected, means linked together for the purpose of giving access to the peripheral devices. Means suppose two or more people are having computers in their home, but only one people are having this printer, then the two can share the printer by connecting the two computer with each other. Okay, so two computers are connected for the purpose of sharing of the peripheral, means sharing of the hardware. And here you can see exchange of information. We talk about the internet or the connected device, so that is the exchange of information and share of the resources. As I told you, resources means the printer, pen means the peripherals, among a wide range of users. Means networks are built for for a very large group of people. Means network can be of 2 million or 2 person. Means it can be in a small area, means only two or three computer may be connected to form a network, or it may be a wide range of users. Means the people of a district or a country or a world are interconnected to share resources. For example, we people share resource on internet when we are get connected with the internet. So now let us see what are the different types of network. Okay, so it is given here. Personal area network, it is also called PAN. What is personal area network? When we use our mobile for to connect with this Bluetooth, then this type of network is a PAN. Means PAN is a very simple network which is between two or more people, but it is in a small area, like in a house or in a campus. Campus we cannot say, because campus become somewhat larger, and other name for campus area network is CAN. Okay, and that is also another type of network. So connecting to laptops, to tablet, smartphones, or headphones, wireless media, this is known as personal area network. Okay, So I think it is clear to you personal area network. If it is not, please tell me if you have any problem. See what is written here. This type of network connection covers a very small area such as a home or an office cabin. Means it cannot be more than 1 kilometer or like that, or we can say 500 meter, because in a house cannot be more than that. So that is very simple. Okay, now let's see another type of network is PAN after LAN. Okay, LAN is for local area network. See it, this is very important for defining LAN, that what is the range of local area network. The range of local area network is 10 kilometer. Okay, and number of system can be connected in LAN may vary from 2 to 1000. Means only 2 computer may be connected, or up to 1000 computer may be connected in local area network. And local area network expand up to a colony or a uh, or circle, means what we say a district. It may be in a district or like that. Okay, the next one is metropolitan area network. And metropolitan area network is the network in which metropolitan cities all functions are interconnected. Means police station, railway, roadways, all are connected with the help of network, and that is called metropolitan area network. This type of network is geographically larger than LAN, you can see here, and it expand over a city. Means it covers a whole city. They are used by large organizations having several branches over a city, or by local government bodies like municipal corporation or the police. This type of network uses microwave transmission or fiber optic cable to link up the network. So the name metropolitan has been derived from the metropolitan city, means a city having a very good access of network. That means all the services are interconnected, and people can have all the information over the internet or the network. So such type of network is known as metropolitan area network. Now let's see another type of network. It is wide area network. Wide area network is somewhat larger than the metropolitan area network, because wide area network you have seen internet is also called wide area network or WAN. You can see the definition can be it means example of wide area network can be internet. See, this is the largest type of network. It has span across the several cities, countries, or even the whole world, since they use high speed technology. So WANs are expensive networks. So it uses the very wide range of network. And now let's see. So I think only 3 types of network is given to you. CAN, that is sorry, first one was PAN, personal area network. Second was LAN, local area network. And third one was WAN, that is wide area network. So with the help of these 3, you can differentiate between these 3. I am explaining you. The first one, personal area network, is up to a personal level. Means 2 people are connecting their mobile or the laptops in the house or in office. It may be connection between 2 tablet or 2 mobile phones, to a smartphones, laptops, but it is at personal level. That is personal area network. Local area network is another type of network. It expand up to 10 kilometer, and in local area network, a district colony can be interconnected for the access of the resource, exchange of the information, and other network benefits. So, and the third one, that is wide area network. Wide area network is very big network which expand over the country. Means whole world is connected with the help of wide area network. And wide area network example is internet, and here transmission rate is very high. Now let us see advantages of computer network. So all the 3 type of network has the some advantages. The first one you can see, sharing of hardware, means if 5 or 10 people are there, and one or two of them are not having some type of resource, for example a scanner or printer or some other devices, then by connecting their computer with each other, they can share the resources, that is hardware. And resources also include software. Some people may having not the software in their computer. For example, you can see, for purchasing Microsoft Office package, we need some amount to pay to the Microsoft organization, the company. But people having Microsoft Office in one computer can be accessed to another computer by with the help of internet, or connecting the one computer with the other computer. Try to understand what I am telling you. Sharing of software means one person having the ownership of software and another person are not having the ownership of software, then they both can use by connecting the two computer with each other. Now the third one is sharing of files, means when two computers are interconnected, then they can share the files also. Means whatever the videos, audios or documents are saved in one computer can be accessed in another computer. The next advantage is backup. What is backup? For example, every day you are using your mobile phones or laptop, but at one day you are having problem in accessing the gallery of your mobile phone, for example. Then what you will do, you will simply go to the mechanic and will say my mobile is not working, or somewhat like that. So in that case, the shopkeeper or the mechanic tell you that you will lose all the data whatever it is in the mobile. So to avoid such type of problem, when two mobiles or two computers are connected with each other, then they have the access of the resources. So if one computer get damaged, another computer can have that very files, and then damaging to one computer may not harm the file of the other computer, and its backup can be stored very easily in other computer. So means there is central computer on which, that is called also the server, on which everything is kept, and all the other computers uses them. So server never damages, because only a single node or single computer, single end node or end computer get damaged, and in that case our backup is not destructed, not destroyed. Next benefit of this network is that it is cost effective. How it is cost effective? Means when 10 people are interconnected, one are having a printer, one are having all the software, and like this the software and the hardware and different peripheral devices can be used among each other, so the cost is become very low in accessing all the resources. So working in collaboration means cooperation, two or more computers get connected, and then they can have very low cost and access to each and every type of software and hardware. Now the second last is minor effect of breakdowns. What is the minor effects of breakdown? Minor effect of breakdown means there is very less risk of damaging. Means one computer if getting damaged, another computer is already having the access of the resources, so our data is not lost in that case. Now the next is save paper and time. When you are having two or more computer interconnected, then you simply send the messages over the internet or the connection whatever you have, then you need not to write on later. For example, you can think of in school. In school, principal have to write a message to the student that allow him to sit in the class. Today he is late because of some necessary things that is not that cannot be explained here. So in that case, principal write letter and give to you, and then you go to your class teacher and then you show it. But if your another computer, two computers are there, and one is in the office, another is in your class, then your principal can simply write the message, and your teacher can see it, and the teacher can allow it to sit in the class. Like this, it saves the paper and also the time. Means the signals or the messages travels too fast in comparison to the manual system. So these were the different advantages of system network. You can count it and you can remember it by heart. These are very important. The question in exam may come, what are the advantages of computer network? So you have to write the sharing, or with the help of computer network you can share the hardware, we can share software, so files can also be shared, backup can be made very easily, and then cost is very low in using different type of software and storage devices. Minor, there is very less risk of breakdown, or and it also save the paper and time. So how many advantages we have just seen? 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So these are the 7 advantages. Now disadvantages are very less. What are the disadvantages? The first one is initial cost. So initial cost means those offices or those people are having manual work, means they are writing in the register and maintaining copy and pens system, whatever they have. Then for the first time when they go for purchasing a computer, even different organization work together to purchase a computer, it become costlier for them. So initial cost is very high. This is the disadvantage. Second one is administration. If the network grows too large, various issues may crop up in the day-to-day operations of the computer network. To work efficiently and optimally, it requires high technical skill and know-how of its operation and administration. Means an engineer is required to maintain a big computer network. So in that case, those engineers also uh, charge very high. So a person just having basic skill cannot do this job. So this is not the disadvantage in the present day, because all the people are having knowledge of computer and learning computer. You people are also learning computer right from the 3 or 4 classes. So now this was the problem with the early days, that many of the persons do not having the knowledge of computer. So administration of the network was very tough. Now the third one is major effect of breakdown. When something I was talking that resources or the backup can be made from the central server that is kept in a safe place, and all the computers are using the resource. But suppose that the main server, the main resource get damaged, then all the computers get shut down. So in that case it is also risky, but it do not happens generally, because the servers are very reliable computers. They do not get damaged very easily. And these are the two other disadvantages. We had seen the two disadvantages, three disadvantages above. Now this is the virus. The fourth one is virus. It means nowadays people are making programs which comes automatically in our computer with the help of internet, or when some devices like pen drive or other data traveler are used in one computer, and it is again inserted into another computer having not antivirus. So in that case it is the disadvantage of computer network. Means in computer network, any of the computer having virus will get spread all in all the other computers. So for that, all the computer which are connected in the network, they should have antivirus program, then no risk of viruses can be there. So security, and there is chances of security. For example, even one of the computer is getting hacked, all the information uh, may be leaked there. So these were the disadvantage, but you can think that these are not the disadvantages in the present. People are having all the uh, security, like viruses uh, uh, can be avoided with the help of antivirus program. Then security uh, can be high with the help of antivirus software also, or it may be set in the computer also. So these were the type of network and the advantage and disadvantage of network. Now friends, today I think it is enough, but see one or two topic more. Let's see how much it is. We can finish it today. So computer architecture. Architecture means a structure, means how how two or more computer are connected, peer to peer network or client to server network. These are the two different method or the architecture of making a computer network. The first one is peer to peer network, means that one computer is connected to another computer directly. See, peer means equal, and therefore in peer-to-peer network, each computer's or node is equal to other computer in term of resource that it can access and share. Means to say, in peer-to-peer network, all the computers have the same resource. This is the central resource, and this resource is shared by this computer, this computer, this computer, this computer, and this computer. So all these five computers have access to the same resource, and it is equal. It is also known as P2P network. Okay. Now what is client server network? Client server network means a server is the main computer, and it has very high means it have very too many resources, and it is at the higher level, and these are the client computer which is asking this resource to access. Here just I want to explain you once again. In peer-to-peer network, all the computers were connected with the help of this switch. This is switch, not this is the central uh, server. It is not the server, but it is switch by which all the computers are connected, and these computers uh, share resources with all the other four computer. Again, this computer all share all the information to all other computer. Means they are not having uh, higher or lower level, but here server is at a higher level, and clients are at the lower level. Clients ask for the resource, and the server provide them. So in a client server architecture, there is a powerful central computer which has more resources than other computers connected to the network. Okay, this central computer is known as server, and the other computers are known as client or nodes or workstation. The server is responsible for providing all the information and resources to the client as per their request. Okay, when this is client, this is client, this is client. When we people when these clients ask for the resource, for example, internet is the example of such type of network. So when we connect to the internet, then server provides over the internet the access to different resources, different pages, different songs, different videos, different documents, like that. Okay, so this is the difference. It is given peer-to-peer network and client server network. You have to remember it. You have to learn it. What are the difference, I'm explaining you all the computers are in capability as well as in the use of resource. Means all the computers use others resources and also provide the other computer the same resources. Means in peer to peer all are having equal capability, all are equal in uh, strength, means storage capacity or other resources, all are having equal capability. But in client server, a client have less capability, a specific computer more powerful than the other. Like this specific computer is server, and it act as the server and provide resources to other computer on the network. And these are computer which takes the resources of the server is client computer. Okay. Now the next one is, in this type of network each computer can request service and also provide service to the other. Means uh, all the computers connected, they provide, means they give and they all take all the things equally. But in client server, server provide every time, but server do not ask the client to provide, whereas the client can request the resource for the server. Means client, means for example when you use internet, you do not give something to the server, but server provides you all the things you required. Now the next one is, since each computer can store its own data, but here only the central server can store the data. Now since every computer is also required to provide its resource for the use by other network, no uh, perceptible effect will be noted when multiple users simultaneously operates their computer. Means all the computers are interconnected, so when they ask and when they use the resources of each other, then there is no any disturbance or no any heavy load like that. But here, if all the computers network request for services simultaneously, so from the server, it will result in slowing down of the server. Means computer gets slow when a same web page, for example everyone is filling the form of railway, then the railway server says that it is server is busy, like that the messages come. So what happens here, that only one computer, that is server is the provider. So when many of the people start asking the server to give the resources, then server get busy and may get slow. But here all the computers were connected equally, so there is no chances of getting slow. A P2P network is less expensive. It can be established in home or offices very easily with the help of wire, but a client server architecture is expensive because a very big server is made for country. For example, in India, in Delhi, a very big server is there, means all the resources is kept there, and it is controlled and monitored for the other states. For each state, then again have the server, and then those server provide the access to the resource to all other district and village or town or cities. So like this server is client server is very expensive type of network architecture. Security is a major concern with this type of network. Means all the computers which are connected in peer-to-peer network, they may have the security issue. Means when one computer get affected by virus, then other may get affected. So for avoid such type of security issue, we need to install antivirus. Here it is same here also in client server. It is easy to take measures to secure the system in client server network. A specific computer can be allowed to access to a specific area of the system. So here we have the different permission to give to the server, and server cannot hack, or server cannot the and virus from the server cannot affect our computer very easily. Now the next one is the last one is, it is usually implemented for a small number of computer. Means it is in home or in offices it is built, but it is made on large scale like world level internet, district level or national level, country level it is made. So these were the differences between client server and P2P network. You can write the difference between these two network in your own word also by understanding the things. If you have not got what I had explained you, then you can ask me by commenting in the comment section of this video. Now switching technique. What are the switching technique means? Two or more computers get connected with the help of switch only. You know how switch looks like. For example, in your houses you have seen switches of for switching on and off the bulb and the fans and different appliances. Similarly, for connecting two or more computers there are switches. So the first one is circuit switching. What is circuit switching? Let's see. Circuit switching is a technique that connects the sender and the receiver in an unbroken path. Means in circuit switching, the two computers are connected with the help of wire and there is no any broken path. A dedicated path exists between the two ends unless the connection is terminated. Means up to which the two computers are connected or the two computers are accepting the network, then for that very time there is no any breakdown. The landline telephone is an example of circuit switching. So circuit switching example is landline phone, which were earlier too much popular, but now this day we are having mobile phones. Now what are the advantages of circuit switching? The communication channel is dedicated means well established, means it cannot be it cannot be hacked or it cannot be broken. Means two person are having very granted dedicated services. Now disadvantage possible of long wait. In this it was also the problem that two or more computers are connected with the help of same wire or same line. In that very case, the flow of the signals or flow of the resources software become slow, and it was the problem that is which is said like a possible long wait to establish the connection during which no data can be transmitted. It happens when there is somewhat problem in the switch or two or more computers are connected with the same network, same path. Then it become problem to establish the connection for the first time. Three-way handshaking was there in the earlier days, but now it is not now it is getting vanished from our society. You can see the landline was also get uh, now getting vanished. Now it is most expensive also, because to have wire from the client server to client is too much expensive. Okay, buying such long wire and then connecting the two computers. Now the second one, it is message switching. Message switching is another type of uh, see what switching technique. Okay, so message switching, in this message switching the message is sent from the sender to the receiver through a series of nodes. Each node receives the message, store it and the disk on the disk, and then transmit the message to the next node. What happens, this is the example of message switching. Message switching means a computer having uh, uh, all the computers or all the node are having the message, and they check the message whether it is for them or not, and if it is not, they simply transmit to other for which it is in the network. What is the what is the main difference between message switching and circuit switching? You can see In message switching, the message is sent from the sender to the receiver through a series of nodes. Means there are different nodes through which the message is getting traveled. But in this circuit switching, the message was directly going through the dedicated node, which are meant to transfer the data from A to C here. But here the message is getting here and here and here and here, traveling in each node, and after checking they are passing the signals. Each node receives the message, store it on the disk, and then transmit the message to the next node. This type of message is called storage and forward network. Means it has stored the some things, and then it transferred to the other node. Now what are the advantages? Channel efficiency is very high. In such type of network message switching, channels, what is channel? Channels are the path, means the wire or the wave, like Bluetooth, infrared. These are the wave through which signal travel is called channel. So channel work very effectively, means they work very fast. Now this page is has get blurred. uh, Let me explain it. You can see from your book. See here it is written traffic, and traffic cognition uh, means get, for example, you can uh, understand with the help of traffic jam in the roadways. So here there is the possibility of traffic jam is not because message get transmitted from one node to another node, and it is temporarily stored in the node. Okay, so there is no means every time the new message is coming, then the old message is getting automatically vanished there. So this is the benefit. And what are the disadvantages? Disadvantage is that storage and forward device are expensive, as larger storage is required to store long messages. So every time message comes, then it gets stored on each node. So for storing large amount of data, the storage is required, and it become uh, uh, very expensive. When for example, when you go to buy 2 GB RAM, or sorry, 2 GB memory chip, then it is lesser in means it is cheaper. And when you buy 16 or 32 GB or 64 GB chip, then yeah, it costs too much. Like that it is. Now what is packet switching? Packet switching is that it is like each node compare that whether the packet is for them or not. If it is not for them, then it transmitted to another computer. See, as shown in the figure 2.2.9, in packet switching, the message is broken into a series of packets. In packet switching, what happens? The signals or the message get broken down into small packet. Each of those packets has a header which contains the information about the destination, yani where the message is going to get released, or for which computer the message is set. It is get in this type of information is attached with the header, as well as reassembling instruction, and also it is assemble and disassemble, means it is broken down, and after that when it reach the particular computer for which the message is sent, then after reaching in that computer, the message get again framed there, means the broken pieces again join together to form the real message. So packet switching is found to be the most effective for the large network, means when there is big network, then breaking down the things and then reassembling the things at the node is very useful, and it is known as packet switching. The TCP/ICP protocol uses packet switching. So uh, internet that we access in every day of our life is working on packet switching, because TCP/IP protocol, transmission control and internet protocol, uses packet switching. So in packet switching, what happens, because suppose you are downloading video, then you can see for downloading different chunk, means a small part get downloaded, and each part then again rejoin together to form the real video. So you may not have experienced such type of breaking and reassembling, because you have not used IDM, that is Internet Download Manager. I have used and I have seen, and in many of the other application, means other downloader also uses this type of packet switching method, means packet switching is very clear there. Okay, now what are the advantages of packet switching? Packet switching is cost effective because devices do not require a large amount of switching circuit, so it costs very less. So that is why it is very good, because in very less cost uh, this type of architecture can be established, and offers improved delay characteristics as there are no longer messages in the queue. So since it is in a small chunks, so there is no chances of getting delay of the messages, so it travels very fast. That is also advantage. Now packet can be rerouted if the link are busy or disabled. So for example, that something is traveling in the network, then some of the packet get busy in between, then it can be resent there, rerouted there, because each packet have the header section, in which header section address of the destination computer, means where the message is going to reach, is already stored in the header section, is already stored, and that's why it again, after rerouting, it again reach the same computer. Now what are the disadvantages? Protocols. Okay, one more advantage was there. Many users can share the same channels at the same time. Since the packets are small and they can travel very easily in a small path also, means in very narrow channel, means less bandwidth also. That's why it is very easy for traveling of the uh, different uh, signals or different messages at the same time, so many people can share the information over such type of network architecture. Now what are the disadvantages? Disadvantage is that protocol or for packet switching are complex, so it is very complex to implement the protocols are the rules by which something is governed. So the protocols are very complex, so many of the people may not understand, and it become very difficult to implement it. But that's not the issue, because in the present day people are getting smarter and they are able to understand each and everything. Now if the packet is lost, the sender has to retransmit the data. It is also not problem, but it is for when we are having advantage, then we also write the disadvantage, means when some packet get lost in between, then it is retransmitted. But for retransmission and a person needed, means a system needed to retransmit the data, so retransmitting is somewhat considered as disadvantage of this type of network. So student, what are the other things that is left in this session? Let's see. It is network components, switch, repeaters, and hub, router, and then topologies, and then internet. This I am going to complete tomorrow in the next session. So for today it's okay. Thank you children, keep watching. Tomorrow I will explain you the topology, and the different network component like switch and hub and router. What are these different things? And please tell me how was the session, how I can improve the session, how I can give you more better explanation of the chapter. Please tell me by doing comments. Thank you.